troubles behind. Found salvation in the rhythm of a line. No emails or meetings, just the river's sway. Gone fishing, and I'm here to stay.
It is November 2nd. It's about 6 a.m. About to go fishing. Gonna go back to my same creek system up in North Jacksonville. Gonna be fishing the outgoing tide. It's a pretty high tide this morning, almost 6 feet. So I made me some new baits in chartreuse, pink and white, with some different types of silver glitter, paddle tails and jerk baits. So I'm gonna try those out today. We're gonna start with artificials and kind of do some searching around, see if we can get some fish, and always carry me some extra fresh dead shrimp if that doesn't work out. So we will see you when I get on the water. All right, so I got the kayak ready. My Old Town Sportsman 132 EPDL is ready to go. This is my setup. Got another beautiful day here at Fort George Inlet. Tide's going out. It's a very high tide. We got a full moon in about 4 days, so I'm gonna troll around, throw some search baits, see if we can hook up, and then if that doesn't work out, I'm gonna go ahead and head towards the back of the creek and fish my way out with low tide. Dead low tide's at noon, so I might stick around and fish the tide change. So I will be back hopefully when I hook up. All right, we're on the way. I am traveling into a pretty strong outgoing tide. Got it on cruise level 5, and you can see how this big water EPDL just cuts through the water. So we'll start throwing some baits at a few spots, and hopefully I'll be back when I hook up. All right, fish on. I was trolling this chartreuse paddle tail on the oyster beds. I'm gonna get my other rod in here real quick. All right, fish is still on. We got, let's see here, I'm gonna reel this in real quick. All right. Okay. All right. Still got fish on. Let's see what we got. Pulling pretty good. Ooh, looks like a nice trout. All right. Oh, come on now. All right. That's a good trout. I think that's gonna be a keeper. They gotta be 15 to 19. So looks good. Let me. All right. So I caught them on my. I made this AI angling 3.8 inch rip wrap chartreuse paddle tail the other day. Got a good hit on it. So I'll be back. I'm gonna measure him up and see if he's a keeper. All right, I'm back. He is 16 inches, so he's a keeper. You can keep 5 a day. I do love eating sea trout. I just like to eat them fresh. So I'm gonna bag them up and we're gonna get back to it. Bye. All right, I'm hooked up again. Throwing that chartreuse paddle tail. I think I got another good trout here. Yep. Oh, he got off. Oh well. I'll be back. All right, hooked up again. I think I have found the trout. Oh, he got off. Oh well. Keep fishing. All right, I'm hooked up again. I think I found a nice spot with some good trout. This feels like a good trout if that's what it is. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, he's pulling pretty good. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. That's a big one. All right, see if I can get him in the net. Ooh. All right. Woo! That is a nice trout. Look at that thing. They are loving this chartreuse bait I made. So I'll be right back. Let me get him measured up. He's gonna be another keeper. All right, I am back, and he is a nice sized trout. Tail pinched, he's just over 17, so that'll be my second keeper. Let me get him in the bag and we'll be back. All right, hooked up again. This time I put on my white paddle tail. Let's see if I still got him. I think he got off. Yep. All right, we'll keep trying. All right, got on my white paddle tail I made. Another trout. Let's see, he feels pretty good. Let me see if I can get him. All right. Yeah, let's see. Oop, there we go. I think yep. He's a short, but I just switched up to one of my other baits, a white bait, and they nailed it. So I think I'm on a good spot. We'll throw him back and we'll be back. All right, so I had some luck at those first couple spots. Got a couple keeper sea trout. Threw some more. The tide's really coming out strong, so I'm gonna troll the oyster beds and head to the back of the creek, and we'll be back when we hook up. All right, got fish on. At the back of the creek. I've been throwing at a lot of spots. Not much luck since this morning, so I've been trolling along the oyster beds here, and I think I got a decent little fish here. Let's see what I got. Oh yeah, nice trout. See if I can get him. All right. Okay. Got a trout on my white rip-rap paddle tail. I'm gonna measure him, but I think he might be a short, so we'll be back in a second. All right, so he is right at 15 inches with the tail pinched, and I always throw back any trout, reds, or flounder that are right at the bottom of the slot. So I'm gonna throw him back, and we'll try to hit the same spot again, see if there's some more fish. All right, I am hooked up again. This feels like a pretty good fish. I got the chartreuse rip-rap paddle tail on. Let's see what we got here. This feels like a pretty good fish. Feels like another trout. I started trolling around along this grass and these oyster beds. Start hooking up. Let's see. Get my net here. If I think it's a keeper trout, I like to I like to net them because they got such a soft mouth. All right, got him on the chartreuse rip-rap again. He is going to be a keeper. I'll be back to measure him in a minute. Okay, we're back. He is 16 inches, tail pinch, so I'm going to keep him. So that's 3 of my 5. I'm going to see if I can get 2 more keepers, and then I'm done trout fishing, and I'm going to anchor up and start putting some fresh dead shrimp on the bottom, see if I can get my redfish for the day. I'll be back. All right, I'm hooked up. Dead shrimp on the bottom. It feels like a decent redfish. Let me get this other line in real quick, in case I gotta run and chase them. So let's see. All right, feels pretty good. Yep, just a red. Looks like you might be a slot. Let's see. All right. Whew. Let's see if I can get him in the net. He's still. Yeah, there we go. Nice. Yeah, he looks like he's going to be a lower slot. So look at that. Got 3 cool spots on him. So I'll be back in a minute to measure him. All right, we're back. He is tail pinched, just over 19. So they got to be 18 to 27. So I'm going to go ahead and keep him for dinner. But you can look at that cool spot pattern on him. He's got 4 spots. So I'm gonna put them in the bag, but we're gonna keep on fishing. Probably got another hour back here before it's gonna get too skinny. All right, so just a little bit about my setup. When I inshore fish, I like to fish 2,500 reels. I do have one 3,000 reel that I bring. I like 7/6 medium light fast action rods. I fish 10-pound braid and 15-pound monofilament leader. I like Seagar, and I love using these DOA short shank jig heads. They're 1/8 ounce. I don't like to go heavier than 1/8 ounce because the water's so shallow back here that if you go anything heavier, your baits will tend to drag the bottom when you're fishing artificials. So one other thing I do, all my rods, I put these rod floats I make. You can get this pipe insulation at Home Depot. Get you some zip ties. It tapes right here. But I have in my previous kayak the tracks on the Old Town 120 PDL. There, over time they loosen up, and I had a couple fish bite and rip my rod holders into the water. And if I had not had these rod floats on there, I would have lost probably 2 rods and reels. So anyway, all right, so I just want to share that, and we'll be back if we hook up. All right, hooked up again. It's pulling pretty good. Let's see what it is. It's coming in pretty easy. Let's see here. All right, Mr. Kitty Cat catfish. So, all right, let me get him off. So just real quick, when I get a saltwater catfish, these spines have like almost a venom in them. They pierce your skin. It can really hurt. So what I like to do is I grab them with my net, I put my fish grips around it, and then I've got him fully secured. He's not going to flip around and hit me with any of these spines. And then I'll let him go. There you go. All right, I'm hooked up. Ooh, feels like a good redfish here. Ooh, I got a, ooh, yeah. Let me get my other rod in here. Let me get my other rod in here. Yeah, he's pulling out some line. So I got my keeper for today, but let's see if we can get this one in and see how big he is. All right, got my other line in. He's a good size. I'm gonna get the net. When you're doing this fishing, you just gotta kind of sit and wait, weed through all the little ones, pecking all your bait off, the pinfish, the catfish, little black drums. But if you just wait, it just takes one redfish cruising the oyster beds. He looks like, I just saw him a little bit, looks like a good size. Yeah. Let me see here. Oof. This is my favorite fish to catch. I love catching redfish. I've never caught a big bull red because they're usually out in the deeper water. The biggest one I've ever caught back here is about 28 inches. Let's see here, I can get them in the net. There we go. Oh, got him. All right. Pretty fish. So one thing about these redfish is they got this coarse mouth here. So when you catch one, you always want to check your line because it'll rub. See right there? It'll rub the line and you might need to retie your jig head. So let me get him unhooked. I'll do a quick measurement and we'll get him back. Okay. Tail pinched, he's about 19.5. So I'm gonna put him back. Got my one for the day. Let him go. See you, buddy. Swim on. There he goes. All right, we're gonna fish a little bit longer here, and then we're gonna start heading back. I do have an area closer to the boat ramp. Once the tide changes, I might want to try a little spot there and see if we can get some black drum. So we'll be back. All right, I've got our lines in. Just one thing I wanted to show you, I've tried a lot of different anchors. I've tried a kettleball anchor, a claw anchor. What I find works best for me is this fluke anchor. I think I got it on Amazon for 20-25 bucks. So what I do is I like to get up current, chunk it out. It grabs into the sand real good. Got about 20 feet of rope, and it works real well for tidal currents. So all right, we're gonna start trolling around with some paddle tails and see if we can get a couple more trout before I get back close to the boat ramp. So I'll be back if I hook up. All right, just trolling along the oyster beds. I'm hooked up. Let's see what we got here. Pulling pretty good. Maybe it's a good trout. Oh yeah, nice trout. Might be my fourth keeper of the day. Oh, all right. So he hit the white AI England riprap paddle tail I made. So let's see, I could probably go ahead and measure him up real quick so I can get this out of here. Okay. Tide's about 3/4 of the way out, so sometimes these fish will just be right off the edge of these oyster beds over here. You can see them. Let's see here. He's right at 15. He's going back. All right, we'll keep fishing. Hopefully we'll be back. All right, I think I'm hooked up again, or I'm caught on an oyster bed. Let me see. All right, let's see here. I think might be an oyster bed. If it's a fish, I'll be back. All right, so I was not hooked up on a fish. My line somehow got caught in my prop. So I want to show you this cool thing you can get from Navarre Kayak. So yeah, let me get my prop back on there and get it seated. So this is called a floating prop nut. So the factory little nut that it comes with in the washer, it's really easy when you're pulling the prop off for it to pop off. So Nick from Navarre Kayak came up with this this floating prop nut. So you just screw it on, and if it comes off, it's going to float in the water. You get right back. So I keep several of these just in case. All right, let's get back to fishing. All right, I tried to throw some shrimp up under one of the floating docks I like to fish at. Sometimes you can get a nice red or some black drum, but none but little pinfish pecking at it. So I'm heading back to the boat ramp, and I'll be back in a little bit. All right, great day of fishing. I'm all loaded up. Good day, really good day of fishing. Trout were biting early on the artificials. I caught 5 legal sized trout, but I only kept 3. If I catch them close to the bottom of the slot, I just throw them back, let them get bigger. So got trout, some of my new baits. The go-to bait today that really worked good that I made was the AI England 3.8 inch riprap. I made it in like an opaque chartreuse color. Worked really well. Once the artificial shut down, I went to the back of the creek, put some shrimp on the jig head like I did a couple weeks ago. Got my keeper redfish and caught another redfish. Tide was really going out fast, so I wanted to get out of there as soon as I could. Tried to fish underneath a floating dock that I've caught some reds and some good black drum before, but it was just nothing but little pinfish. So overall, it was a great day. Weather was good. One thing I wanted to show you is the way I film on the water. I'm gonna go ahead and put these on. All right, These are not the best looking glasses in the world, I'll admit it, but these are called Ray-Ban Meta sunglasses. So indoors, they're like regular glasses. You go out in the sun and they darken, but the cool thing about these is they link to your phone, and when you're out on the water, there's a little button right here you can push and it'll start filming. Now you can only film 3 minutes at a time, but the glasses, you'll hear them turn off and you can just hit the button again to continue filming. So it's just real convenient as you look around, move around. It's just easy to film. And when you get home, there's an app that all of the videos download to. So if you want to create, you know, a video for YouTube or something like that, it's really easy to do. They do make them a little more stylish, but I got a big nose and a big head, so I got to get these kind of glasses. So anyway, great day of fishing. Coming up, definitely going to do more fishing. Going to probably go to some different creeks and try some different areas. Hopefully get together with a couple of my fishing buddies. And also I have a AI angling grub curly tail mold, and I'm going to shoot some baits in that. So thanks for watching my channel. Please subscribe, like, and notify, and we'll see you next time.